Dear young girls.
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 I want you to remember to always be brave and stand up for what is right. I remember as a kid, I had many situations where I would see girls get bullied or I would see people get teased, and I always stood up for what was right. And it was scary in the moment, but I have never regretted it a day in my life. If I could teach anyone any lesson, it would be that, to stand up for what is right and don't be afraid. Dear young girls, remember that you're beautiful, and remember that there are people out there that love you, and you will always be loved, and you are important. Remember that you are extraordinary, and there is no one that compares to you. You are one of a kind, and never change who you are to please other people. Always be who you are, because that is really the most beautiful person you can be.
So, a couple of philosophies that I live by day, minute by minute, occasionally. One of those is if you take care of yourself, you have so much more to give others. When you are genuinely working at growing within and building who you are as a person, whether it's going to get a manicure and a pedicure, whether it's reading some books and learning or taking classes, communication, as long as you're exploring yourself and you're putting yourself first, you're going to see a huge difference on what you have to offer to others as a person. Another thing that I've learned is don't be afraid to speak up. Speak your mind. There's a respectful way to do it, and people are actually going to respect you more if you can figure out a way to deliver your opinion in an appropriate way. So be yourself. If you need to let something out, let it out and do it respectfully. You are going to feel like $1,000,000. And then probably the last thing, and one of the most important things in my opinion, is to be kind in every aspect of your life. Whether it's work, your friendships, your relationship, if you're being kind and you're having a kind heart, you're teaching others how to treat you. It literally goes back to treat others how you want to be treated. And it's something we've all learned at such a young age. And because of all of the social norms and social media and whatnot, it's become one of those things that I feel like so many people don't understand. And it is literally something as simple as be kind and treat others how you'd like to be treated. Always remember, it's a good day to have a good day. I always remind myself of that because it really is. Every day is a good day to have a good day. If you don't want to have a good day, well, you better figure out how to, because you're not going to have any fun if you're not having a good day.
So I guess I'd like to mention that it's very important to kind of be yourself. And sometimes I know it's really difficult. A lot of times you feel pressure to be someone you're not, or give in to different things that you don't really want to do. And it's important to understand what you want and be who you want to be. I know from experience that it's difficult to own up to things that you experience and express yourself and kind of be true to who you are, but in order for you to be happy and move on with life and do what you want to do, you have to accept who you are. And I know that when you're younger, it's even harder to do that because you're more susceptible to all this peer pressure and people telling you you have to be a certain way or dress a specific way, talk, act, all those type of things. But you have to kind of ignore them first. That's kind of the harder part. And then think about, well, what do I want? What do I want to accomplish? What are my goals? What are my ideals, my dreams? And kind of go from there. So I hope that is kind of helpful for you to hear, because loving yourself is one of the hardest things that someone could do. It's so hard. I know that. But it's also so rewarding once you do love yourself. It's fantastic. You can get more things done, be more honest with people, make more friends, real friends who will understand who you are and accept you, not friends who ignore you or tell you that you're wrong or just don't really care about how you feel. Those aren't good friends to keep. You want friends that will always be there for you and who care and love you for you. So keep that in mind. And I guess just try to keep that in mind as well. Just be you. Because the world deserves to know you as you are, not what you think that you should be or how you think you should act or what other people think you should do. So,
Something that I've learned throughout my life is that hardships can be a really good thing, and they're never fun. But I've learned that they can give us compassion and empathy and qualities that are so beautiful. When I was in 10th grade, I had one of the hardest years of my life, and it was not fun. I was struggling with some mental and emotional things, and it was really hard every day. But there came a point in my life where I realized that the hard things I was going through helped me to be able to help others through their hard things. And there was one day in one of my classes where one of my friends started crying, and she talked about some hard things that she was going through, and I gave her a hug, and in that moment I realized I have compassion. I know how she feels, even if I haven't experienced exactly what she's felt. And so know that when you go through hard things, you're gaining these wonderful attributes, and it's not going to go without rewards. And hard things will pass. Junior high will pass. High school will pass. All of it will pass. So enjoy what you can out of it, and live so that when you look back, you can know that you tried your best, and it's going to be a great life, and there's always a great future for you. Remember that you are loved by so many people, family and friends and strangers, and also know that you're a daughter of God, and that He knows you, He knows your name, and He loves you, and He has a lot of great things in store for you, and He sees you as a princess because you really are one, and you can grow up to become anything that you hope to be.
All you girls who don't think you're beautiful, just remember, beauty isn't just what you look like. I mean, it may sound silly, but sometimes when you find a rock, you crack it open and there's gems inside, you know? I don't want to say diamond in the rough because that sounds cliche, but, you know, beauty isn't just how you look to other people. Beauty is how you look to yourself, how you feel to yourself. You can feel beautiful more than anything else. Looking beautiful has nothing on feeling beautiful. And feeling beautiful doesn't happen because you put on makeup or because a boy tells you you're pretty. Feeling beautiful comes from being confident in yourself and knowing that no one can change you and you can't change you. And why would you want to? Because you're a beautiful person. You're a beautiful girl. You'll be a beautiful woman. And no one can ever have a say in how you see yourself because no one else's opinion matters. I mean, you're beautiful because you are, just because you are alive and breathing and living and following your dreams and thinking beautiful thoughts and just being an amazing person. And that has nothing to do with what people say about you. So just remember that you are so beautiful. I'm a person who really likes quotes and who really likes words, and I have a collection of quotes on my phone. So, because a lot of these things helped me see myself better and be a better person, I am going to share these with you also. Don't be sorry, be fierce. Dream a better dream. An unselfish dream. Some dreams are so powerful that they become real. One of my personal favorites. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. And no offense to Nietzsche, but I would like to change it to she who has a why to live can bear almost any how. Because your reason to live is you. You can do anything, you can defy anything, and nothing can stop you. Nothing. Nothing.
One thing I want to focus on is knowing your self-worth. I want you to know that your self-worth is not dependent on how other people view you. Your self-worth is not dependent on what other people say. It is not dependent on how other people treat you. Your self-worth is not dependent on whether or not the guy you like likes you back. It is not dependent on whether or not the popular group accepts you. It's not dependent on how good you look in that shirt. It doesn't depend on any of that. Your self-worth needs to depend on how you view yourself, based on how you know yourself, because nobody knows you the way you know you. You are an individual. You have your own path, you have your own goals, you have your own journey in life. No one's is going to be the same as yours. And I think we make the mistake of comparing our path to other people's and thinking that we are off track because their path is so much different than ours, and that's not necessarily the case. We need to acknowledge that everyone is going in separate directions, and whether we know it or not, we're going to get to our final destination. We're going to get to where we need to be. We just got to keep the faith in that. And you got to keep faith in yourself. And you can't give up. I know that things get hard. Trust me. I went through a time where things were very, very hard. And I wanted to give up. But don't. Oh my goodness, please don't. Everything gets so much better. Just give it time. Give it time, and things will improve. A lot of times we let what other people say influence what we think our path is supposed to be and where we are supposed to be going. And I think it's really important that you stick to your dreams and you don't let other people tell you that your dreams aren't possible, and you don't let other people tell you that you're being ridiculous or that you're aiming too high, because you're not. When people put limits on your dream, it's more a reflection of their limitations than your own. And you need to remember that, and you need to keep faith in yourself and your abilities, because you have the potential to go as far as you want to go if you set your mind to it. I know you can. So you just need to know that within yourself.
Please remember,
You are strong.
You are smart.
You are beautiful.
You are always enough.
And you have the power to change the world.